Let me say it one more time. You pointed out just now, a couple of you, that when you know the gravity of the sin, when you understand the gravity of the sin, okay? But when it comes to a point whereby you understand it, but yet you are blinded, the material world is in front of you, and you know the consequences of that particular sin, but at the same time, the material world is too powerful. Yes? Knowing. I'm not saying not knowing, not ghafla. Yes? Do you understand what I'm saying so far? Yeah. Then you are not, then there's a problem with you if you don't stop that sin. Because now it becomes an excuse for doing it. Now there's a difference. Yes? Yes? I get very, very analytical with understanding the difference between the two. You know something is very sin. For example, alcohol. Everyone knows in this room. No excuse. Alcohol is the worst thing you can do. Finished. But you go out with your friend. Take that one sip, please, just one sip. Okay, God is going to forgive me. And then you stop. And then it hits you. But you know what? You knew before taking that sip the gravity of it. The key to all evils, for example, perhaps alcohol. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is wrong. But if you are just blinded and you are going around with your family and friends, you grew up in a Western society, you never knew alcohol was haram, so on and so forth, and then it hit you, like he was saying, ghafla. Did I make sense now? Yeah. Yes. So be very careful, and that only comes with one thing. Who knows what it is? Awareness. Awareness. Constantly. Awareness, awareness, awareness. Bas, khalas. And it doesn't mean you stop seeking knowledge, huh? Don't ever say to yourself, I do not want to learn Islam because I will find out this is halal, this is haram, so I don't want to do it. Maybe when I grow older I'll do it. That also is wrong, because knowledge is not just stopping what you know. It's gaining more. Do you understand? Okay, good.
Have the majority?
Yes.
The majority of the time we're aware, we know, we're conscious that we're committing a sin. Like, I mean, not alcohol, even like lying or cheating on an exam or whatever it may be, but God will still forgive you if you consciously ask for forgiveness.
I'll repeat your question. Yeah. The sister said that constantly we are aware that, for example, lying is haram. But in our hearts we have that God will forgive us, despite knowing its awareness. Am I correct? What happens then? What do you think should happen then? Speaking of just, Allah's justice, not only mercy. The second thing after Tawheed is what? Adalat. Not Rahman, it is Adalat. So now you are constantly lying. But you also constantly want to believe that Allah will forgive us. Then what happens? Should He forgive us when we are playing with Him like that? Knowingly, not unknowingly. Aware that lying is haram. Only in certain cases lying is allowed. Ghiba is haram. Only in certain cases ghiba is allowed. Ghiba is a problem in our community. And yet we indulge in it. So many people indulge in it. Oh, there was a 60-plus-year-old man in one of the places I'd gone to. And he comes and he tells me, there was someone who had done ghiba. So I told this person, I was just discussing with him, and I told him, I don't understand, despite knowing from the mimbar and the podium that ghiba is haram, you are eating the flesh of your dead brother, why should he do it? This 60-year-old man said, we're all human beings, I mean, if it happens in society, it happens. It does happen. And I was shocked at his answer. I'm saying, despite knowing, he said, yeah, we're human beings, we make mistakes, it's okay. So I'm saying, if it is okay, should we then accept it in society? That's the question. If you do ghiba, and did you know that if you are listening to ghiba, and you are promoting that ghiba, you, the listener, are liable for 70 times more sins than the person who is speaking it. Why? Because you are promoting it. This is Ayatollah the Saghaib says in his 40 greater sins. A person who is listening to the ghiba and not stopping it is liable for 70 times more sin than the speaker. Do you understand? So why is ghiba rampant in our communities? You know why? Those who know, don't stop it. Let it go on. But brothers and sisters, we have a duty, don't we? We can't say, let people do what they want, I will do what I want. then where is Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar? Do you understand? So there is a fine line between what you are saying. But we have to constantly just be educate the mass all the time.
I'm just saying, like sometimes what happens is somebody committing a ghiba, but then if you say like, oh, you know, that's ghiba, everybody knows about it, they do it in public. So but it's still not nice to maybe it's not ghiba, but it's still not nice. It's not a moral thing to do, right?
Yeah. It's not a moral thing to do. Yes.
Ghiba has become within not just your community, but every other community.
Yeah.
That's because something that is so normal, something that is very small. It's normal that when me, I will tell you about somebody else what they have done.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my friends called me the other day, and you know, I haven't talked to him for a while. No, how are you and everything? And he's like, guess what? I have two things to tell you. Yeah, you know, what am I expecting from him? Number one, he's like, you know that guy from a couple of years ago? Still the same. I saw him doing this, and that. Something totally normal. I mean, I had to stop him from doing it, but right now this is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
That ghiba is, nobody thinks of it as what the Quran says, you know, eating the flesh of your dead brother. So it is a big problem that we're facing over here, and we're not really targeting the problem.
Yeah.
Not really showing there's a problem with ghiba.
You know one of the reasons why? Yes, brother.
Just to add on his notes,
Yeah.
we got the same thought process. I think right now we've expanded to a new Ghiba version 2.0, okay, which is we don't even need to listen to what people say. We can go on Facebook, we can go on Twitter, take a look at all the pictures, and we can say, okay, guess what this person is doing, or guess what that person is doing. Before actually taking the element and then spreading those you know, those stories without actually getting the full story itself. You know, without knowing that let's say for example there's a certain person that could be a relative to that person. It could be a family photo. It could be. So it's a new.
It transcends.
New type of ghiba,
yes.
It just changes.
Ghiba is allowed in 11 instances. Ghiba is allowed in 11 different instances. Of course, I can't remember all 11 right now. I got to go back read it. But I'll just give you a couple of instances where ghiba is allowed. During marriage, pay attention. You know, Sheikh Safdar Razi, he was giving a lecture in Dearborn, I think this time, I can't remember where. And he says that the soldiers of Imam al-Mahdi start from the womb of the mother. Okay? Now, understand where I'm going with this. When a person wants to get married to another person, and you know that either one of them has flaws, which is then going to create a problem in the marriage, you are permitted maybe not to speak about those flaws directly, but you are permitted to make the other person aware of the flaws and make them think about it, but not in a way where you are diminishing or reducing the image of the other person. This is only in the case of marriage. No other case it is allowed. Source, 40 Greatest Sins book. It's also available online. Okay, you read it over there. And even all the 11, by the way, are available on that same source. Number 2.
So I have a question.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it considered mut'ah also?
Is it considered what?
For mut'ah. Because
For
mut'ah is some kind of marriage.
Temporary marriage.
Right.
If the intention for marriage is there, you're okay. I don't know. No, I thought, some people do mut'ah before the actual wedding, right. For like 6 months.
Yes.
But then I realized you meant maybe another mut'ah. Yeah, okay, I don't know about that. Okay. All right. The next one. A person in the community is openly, not in a hiding matter, openly committing sins. Okay? He's drinking, clubbing. He's a person who just has no morals and ethics, okay? Indiscipline, and everybody knows. And you are talking to someone and you say, you know what, this brother, for example, did it again. And everybody knows about it. But your intention is not to just keep spreading it. Your intention is to stop the community from following his footpath. his pathway. You're allowed to tell the person who might be associating with him, listen brother, don't go out with him because he's well known to be someone who is gambling or whatever it is, and you might fall into these traps. You see, our duty is to save our ummah as much as possible. Do you understand? But I will tell you one thing about ghiba, which is a very powerful story, but it's in reality. Prophet Musa had gone to pray for rain, and there were a few people with him. He was praying for rain, and it was dry for many years. There was no food, there was no rain, nothing. The plants were withering and dying. As soon as he raised his hands, Allah told him, "O Musa, there is one person amongst you who is a sinner. I will not accept the dua of you and the other people unless this sinner leaves." This is where the mercy of Allah comes in. Pay attention. So Prophet Musa turned around to his companions. He says, Allah has just informed me that one of us is a sinner and he must leave this congregation, and then only he will accept our dua. This man, he was first waiting to see if anybody is leaving. Nobody left. Then he realized it was him. He was crying inside. He was tearing apart. He raised his hands to Allah and he said to Allah, "Ya Allah, you know I am the one. I have sinned for more than 40 years and you know it is me. Do not let me leave this place because I will be humiliated forever. But at the same time, please give them rain, otherwise they are the ones who are going to suffer." Before Prophet Musa even asked Allah again, the clouds came and rain started to fall down. Prophet Musa says, "Ya Allah, nobody left the community. Nobody left this congregation. What happened?" Allah says, "It is because he had asked me for sincere forgiveness that I now gave you the rain." Prophet Musa says, "Ya Allah, who is this blessed person? Tell me who is this blessed person so I can go and hug him." Allah says, "Oh Musa, I covered his sins for 40 years. Do you want me to expose it now to you?" This is the extent of the mercy of God. The extent of ghiba, where even Allah himself does not do ghiba. So when you are just trying to expose, if Allah himself doesn't do it, the Creator, how does the Creator do it also? And our fear we have is of status. If I tell this person who's got a lot of money not to do ghiba and not to talk about this other person because he's not working in the community, he's going to shun me and he's going to talk bad about me. Who cares? He's not the one who's going to forgive you or give you sins or rewards. Don't worry about your status. Or change the topic if you're too afraid.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, what about, about the forgiveness of sins? What if somebody committed those sins before they were Muslim? Are all sins automatically forgiven? Or it depends on them, or what?
Okay. Yes, brother.
Sorry.
Is it related? Did you hear the question? Yeah, go ahead.
What if somebody was spreading rumors about you, to the extent that if you allowed it to go on without you spreading rumors back, like your place within the community, like you couldn't function within the community.
Yeah.
So your only choice is to
spread rumors about him?
Yeah.
No. وَتُعِزُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ. It is only Allah who gives status and takes away status.
I didn't hear the question.
Oh, sorry, I'm really sorry. The question is, what if somebody in the community has been spreading rumors about you, and the only way to stop him is to spread rumors about him? Okay? Now, if there are any deeper understandings from our scholars and the alims, I'm not sure. But from what my knowledge is, you don't retaliate back in that same manner. You can, however, stop him by defending yourself. If you know he's spoken to so-and-so person, you can actually defend yourself. But not by spreading rumors. Why? Because, well, basically it boils down to that common statement, two wrongs don't make a right. You know? But don't forget, my brother, وَتُعِزُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ. Allah raises the status and He lowers the status. Sister Joanne, I'm sorry.
about the sins. Like, are there some that will be forgiven and some not? Because if